Well, hello, everybody. I am back once again, completing or continuing the visitation and what the Lord has been speaking to me since that visitation. Tonight, I want to talk about, still talking about, leading by example. And so, one of the things that I want to say today is thank you guys for viewing and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. It just does my heart good. I know that it's probably just family, but that is great. I love it. I love the fact that what I'm saying is not just resting in me or becoming stagnant in me. It is getting and hitting the airways. And so I thank God for that. So today we're talking about leading from example. And last week I told you guys we were going on this ride. And so this week I want to talk about, I referenced that Jesus was our example. He's the example that we should follow. So I want to continue that, and I want to show you some of Jesus's leadership style and talk about the things he did as a leader tonight. So I'm going to read from John chapter 17, and I'm going to read starting at verse 20. And I'm not trying to take this out of context, but I am saying what I'm saying. And these are red letters, and this is Jesus talking, and it's actually Jesus's prayer for the disciples. So verse 20 says, I am praying not only for these disciples, but also for all who will ever believe in me through this message. So right there, he's talking about us too. I pray that they will all be one, just as you and I are one, as you are in me, Father, and I am in you. And may they be in us so that the world will believe you sent me. I have given them the glory you gave me, so they may be one as we are one. I am in them and you are in me. May they experience such perfect unity that the world will know that you sent me and that you love them as much as you love me. Father, I want these whom you have given me to be with me where I am. Then they can see all the glory you gave me because you loved me even before the world began. O righteous Father, the world doesn't know you, but I do. And these disciples know you sent me. I have revealed you to them, and I will continue to do so. Then your love for me will be in them, and I will be in them. This was the leader. This is the type of leadership mindset that you have to have. Jesus understood the assignment. He knew that he came to show them, reveal the Father to them. He knew the world wasn't going to like them. He knew the world wouldn't agree with them. So what he did was he says, let me show them who I am, but let me show them who you are, God. And that was the prime example of what we are to do in the earth. That's how we lead by example. So when I was looking at this, Jesus had the one leadership style or three things that I've picked out of here. There's plenty, but these are the three that I'm talking about tonight. He had compassion and humility. Jesus was not afraid to get in the trenches. He was not afraid to touch the untouchable. He was not afraid to touch those people that didn't look like him, that didn't believe like him. He was not afraid to approach them. He had compassion when they were broken. If their culture and their was different from his, he wasn't afraid to approach them. He was not afraid of that. He knew who he was. He knew what he had come to do. He knew he had to reveal God to people that had never heard of him. He came against the norm. It's normal for us to interact with our family and people that we know. But what about the stranger who doesn't know God? What about the homeless man who knows God but has fallen on hard times? What about the prostitute? What about the drug addict? What about those people? We have to touch them. We have to lead. We have to be the example in the earth. So when the people that are coming to our churches or coming to our synagogues, if they come in, then they got to see us interacting with somebody besides church people. How would they know that it's okay, that that's what Jesus did? He didn't have a respecter of person. It didn't matter to him. He just wanted to reveal who the Father was. And to lead by example, the mission is to reveal God's kingdom in the earth. If that is the mission, then how can you not reveal who he is? You must. The second thing that I noticed was Jesus spoke truth. Now, we say we speak truth, but we speak our truth. When Jesus spoke truth, he spoke truth in public and in private. He would tell you in a minute. He was confrontational. He would get angry about it, but he would not sin. And he would tell you about your sin, and he would tell you if you were being hypocritical. He didn't like the hypocrite. I'm just sorry. He didn't like that. Because in the word of God that he tells us, I don't like lukewarm. And a hypocrite is a lukewarm person. Sometimes we get stalled out when it's time to tell truth to people. Sometimes it's because we're in our own sin and we don't want that uncovered. So we won't confront anything. But sometimes it's because of what we perceive as keeping the peace. Peace is not being passive aggressive. Peace is not just allowing things to happen. That's not peace. Peace is confrontational. You have to confront the situation, deal with the issue in order to bring peace to it. And Jesus was a peacemaker. We are peacekeepers. We're going to keep the peace. We won't confront anything. I'm talking about me too. I'm including us, because he said in this word right here that we are one body. So when we are not confrontational, and I don't mean confrontational with a nasty attitude or a haughty expression. That was not what Jesus did. That wasn't what he did. The third thing that I noticed about Jesus is that he knew how to apply the word to everybody's situation. I don't care who came to him. He knew how to apply the word with wisdom to their situation. There is no cookie cutter explanation for life. There is no way that I have all the answers to life. But God does. His word does. And if we study his word, if we apply the word, first of all, to our own lives, he will, when he sends somebody or we cross the path of somebody who needs the wisdom of God, we know the word is what will destroy the yoke. And we take the word of God and move the word of God. Show people how to apply the word to your life. And when you can do that, when you as a leader begin to show people, this is what the word says. This is the application of that word. This is what it will look like. When you do that, then you're not responsible for them doing it. You're responsible for instructing them on how to do it. And then James again tells us to be doers of the word. So we have to take the time to follow and look at our example. Jesus had he had great leadership qualities. One of his greatest leadership qualities was servanthood. He would humble himself and serve. He washed the feet of the disciples. He didn't have them washing his. He washed their feet so they could lead, so they could understand. No matter how high I get, no matter how many elevations I get, no matter how many titles I get, I am not above taking out the trash. I'm not above it. And for me, one of the things that I've learned as a leader, I'm not going to ask you to do something that I'm not myself willing to do. I believe that our greatest example is always going to be Jesus. So take the time to study and to know that you are the one that has to lead by example. And you may not be a pastor, but your lifestyle is still the example for whoever is watching. So as we continue to ride this thing, as we continue to ride it out and see what the Lord is saying, remember that we are leading by example. I'll see you guys next time.